What if the secret to perfect parenting was admitting that none of us have a clue?
The truth, we're two real moms figuring it out in real time and keeping it real along the way.
Each episode, we're calling BS on perfection and bringing you raw combos with parents and professionals who aren't afraid to go there.
Because what if the real parenting hack was dropping truth bombs instead of pretending like we got it all together? Let's get into it.
Welcome back to Truth Moms, everyone. Cannot believe we are in season 4 already.
Season 4.
It's been exactly a year.
That's crazy.
Hey, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
That's crazy.
I should have brought cupcakes.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Oh, dang. I have cupcakes on my counter.
Should have swiped them. Really big news. You guys can tell. We're in a new studio.
Oh.
Oh, we thought we were going there first.
I was like, what do you mean? I thought we just talked about it. You couldn't tell. Okay, great. Yes, and we officially have our own studio.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. This has been a labor of love since what? January, February? Mm-hmm. My husband and my father-in-law, we have a shed. Well, first we have a shed in our backyard that was just a shed. There was no drywall, there was no insulation, so they went ahead and they insulated it, they drywalled it. So I want to give them a shout out to them.
Amazing.
Thank you. And for my husband, who's supporting me through this crazy journey. I'm definitely the one that just likes to jump around with my career and just kind of do crazy things and creative things. But he keeps me grounded and he supports me. So thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're in a new studio. It's in our backyard. Much better than having to commute to the city.
Yeah, easier on the babysitters.
Like the kids are playing in the backyard right here. Like I think we can you see them from where they are, where you are?
I can see them, yeah.
Yeah. So that's just nice to be able to kind of have that and not have to figure out a bunch of childcare and going back and forth, which has been nice.
It's been great.
They have a babysitter out there, but
yeah, no, they're running wild and free and just, doing whatever. If they catch a tick or a stick, it's not really on us. So
yeah.
Go childhood.
Yeah.
Well, so
yeah. Is this your first time?
I don't know. I haven't done this in a while.
So we're really excited to be in the new studio. If there's some technical difficulties, if it doesn't look perfect, if it doesn't sound perfect, please just bear with us. We're trying to figure this out, and it's been a long process.
Yeah, and much to, I guess no one realizes, especially if you're trying to do it like where it looks professional and looks, and you're not just using a lavalier like in a bedroom setting.
Yeah.
And kudos to those people that do that. But I mean, getting like sound, lighting equipment, all of that stuff, it's a lot and it's a lot of money. So
I can't tell you how many Amazon returns I've done because I've gotten the wrong cord.
Yep.
I mean, like,
or the wrong lights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a lot of different tests. Because, I mean, like, people can tell us what we should get, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for the space that we're in.
Right.
Because we do have natural light coming in this studio, which we love.
Yeah.
Because we need the plants to survive. These are real plants.
We got real plants because
yeah.
I was like, can we have real plants? I can't do fake plants.
Yeah.
And you have enough lighting in this room too. It's like
Yeah.
a really beautiful, like open lighting. So the plants are going to be very happy here.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're really excited about that. We took a little bit of a break.
We took a bit of a break.
Yeah, I think we rolled from season 2 right into season 3 pretty quickly. I think we had like a couple weeks break. And then after season 3, well, at the end of season 3, we didn't really end it anywhere. We just kind of ended it on Max Gem. We had planned to do a final episode.
Oh, yeah.
But Brittany had to go to Philadelphia because of
my grandmother. And
Yeah.
I was also really like, I think I might have bitten off more than I could chew in that season of postpartum. And I tend to do that. All the time. But that especially started to overwhelm me because I felt like that at that moment, that was like, there was a lot that was happening in those weeks. It was, like my grandmother was sick. The cat died.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I had another family death. But that was, he ended his own life and we have like family history with that stuff. So that was kind of rocked us to the core a little bit. And then we had family drama on top of that. And then of course the baby and postpartum and there was a lot going on because people don't realize, like, just because you're not in the first 3 months doesn't mean that your body's not going through those changes, and your adaptation to things like stress and your responses to your cortisol spiking are not the greatest, especially if you are continuing to breastfeed, because your body is still going through hormonal kind of ups and downs, as it is really until the first year. I don't know who came up with 3 months, but your body's not even fully healed until about a year.
I'd say a year or a year and a half.
Yeah.
I think I started to feel really like myself 9 months, and then I'd say about 18 months is what I was like, okay, like I'm out of it.
Right.
It's a process. And I still actually feel like I'm not all the way out of it.
Yeah.
In a way. So I get it. And then I think I've had kind of gone through my whole thing with the miscarriage.
Yeah.
And
we did talk about that though, right?
We did talk about the miscarriage. And I also, just an update, I had a chemical pregnancy in July. It was, obviously not as emotional, but definitely like when you get excited about that test and then not even 2 days later, like it's like gone. I remember I was at your house.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, well, it's gone. I just kind of sat there in shock and like emotional overwhelm.
Yeah.
But it just felt like at that point that I was never going to get pregnant. Like I'm just like, okay, here we go. But just holding on to that hope. So I went through that, and then we both went on vacation, which we needed.
Yeah. That was a good stop.
Yeah. And then we just kind of like looked at each other like, we need a break. Like we need a good like month. Let's start recording like October.
Let's reset, because I think sometimes we get on autopilot, and that almost makes for a worse situation all around, especially if you're trying to heal and focus on your journey, and then I have stuff going on in my life, and I'm like flipping around the books. And then even when we were on vacation, we were like, should we do content? Should we not do content? We were like, no, let's just enjoy it. Let's just just enjoy it.
And then a couple of things happened in the world that kind of rocked the world. With Charlie Kirk, and I'd say for me and Brittany, like the whole Tylenol thing that was another fun. Just like, okay, like I need to get off the internet, and I'm still kind of off the internet. Like I'll post things here and there, but I'm not posting me or Easton right now.
Yeah.
But I plan to come back once this episode comes back out. But yeah, I felt like it was just kind of heavy. The whole world was heavy.
Yeah, it definitely felt heavy.
And so now we're back. It didn't feel right to record at that time, because I think we were going to, and then we were just like, no.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, so is the government. We're in a government shutdown, so even they need to take a break apparently.
Secretly, Brittany and I work for the government.
Yeah, we're on paid for a lot. No, but seriously, shout out to those people. I know that's going to be really hard. We live in a really tough society. I can't imagine if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're now not getting paid, and there's 30 days, could be up to 30 days.
So
hopefully that gets resolved.
It's wild. Another thing that we have, I think, been going through for the past year, but I think it's really come to light, at least for me, is our spiritual journeys. Like I joined a church almost a year and a half ago, and I'll go here and there.
Oh yeah.
But
and then I have elected to go back really into my Catholic faith. Mm-hmm. So like my family's kind of like mixed bag when it comes to religion. So I always took as being spiritual, because my aunt, so we grew up Catholic. My grandmother is obviously Buddhist. Mm-hmm. My aunt converted to Judaism. So we just have like a lot of different family. When I moved here, all my best friends were Baptist. So we have a lot of influences into the religion. And I think in a really great way, it's awesome to understand that and to be able to walk in those, faiths. I mean, even when I moved to Nashville, right before I moved to Nashville, I went to Bali, and we went through, a little bit of that journey as well, being Hindu. And so I have this really great relationship with faith as respecting it, knowing that there is a higher being. I don't think I ever really delved into it. And it wasn't until, honestly, kids, that I started thinking like, where does my faith lie? Because I want to know how I can better have my children walk through life, right? I don't know about practical atheism in the sense of like, oh, let them figure it out. I think that it is on the family to kind of like, instigate at least spiritual thought, right? That there's something bigger than us, and that, we can't just be, why are we going to be a bigger person? There's got to be a bigger reason. And I think that it also grounds us in a way, and especially as we've walked through this now. So saying all that, what really was hard for me when I moved to Nashville, and I'm not sure that anybody else experiences this, and this isn't to say like anything against Christianity or non-denominational faiths, but big churches, mega churches, they just don't sit well with me. And I think it's because I prefer, even in my, I mean, point blank in my friendships, like I am a one-on-one person. If there's a huge party, I tend to flee. I'm not, I'm really kind of a introverted extrovert. Like I like intimate settings, and so that makes sense for me that my faith would have been much more intimate. And so I prefer the poor Catholic faith. And thankfully we found that here. Originally there was a father who he had just retired. It was Father Dex, and now there's Father John, and we love the community there. The very first time we walked in, I was going back because I had been introduced there when I first moved to Nashville, and 4 years, 5 years later, here I go back in, and PJ was really like excited to see that it was a lot of people that are our age, with children, and so we're all there, kind of being in the community, and it's a very humble. I feel like obviously Catholic Church has its issues, but I feel like if you find the right building, you find what you need.
Every church has their issues, or every kind of religion has their issues, I would say.
So we decided we wanted to get the girls baptized, and the story, it's a lot more complicated because you can't just walk in and say, I want to get them baptized. You have to make because didn't you do a christening too, a blessing?
So yeah, we just did a child dedication. What's so funny is that I actually grew up technically Southern Baptist, but I couldn't practice being Southern Baptist because I lived in Delaware. There's no Southern Baptist like churches anywhere. Oh, so really? We did more of a Presbyterian, and like everybody around me was Catholic. So I thought that you got baptized because I was around everybody. I thought you got baptized as a kid, and my parents just missed out. So in the Baptist faith, they want you to wait to choose. Yeah. So we did a child dedication.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. But yeah, and that's really what, godparents and all of that stuff is with the Catholic faith, is that you are anointing your child into the faith, and you are going to help them walk that, obviously, however they see their faith later on. But but yeah, so we decided to do that, and it's a lot more complicated than you would think, because you would think you would just go in and be like, hey, next Sunday I just want to put a little water over their head and call it a day, and it's really not that. So we've been on this journey to get them baptized for like a couple months now, and it went from like really just the clerical stuff that you have to go through to say that you're part of the church and that you've been there, and we're going back every Sunday. And I'm glad that they require that, because if I just gotten them baptized, it might have been just like when you go to Christmas mass, not forcing me, but making sure that I'm a willing participant in the faith has really brought us back. And we hate missing Sundays now, but also there's a lot of family drama. And so that took a little bit, because who knew choosing godparents would be such a roller coaster? I
forgot about this.
Yeah. So much fam drama. So we decided we're going to probably stay with the friend route on that. But also in the Catholic faith, they have to be baptized Catholic. It's like a whole thing. So finding a man and a woman who are both baptized, because you can't have two women and you can't have two men as the godparents. So you want two godparents.
And they have to be Catholic.
They have to be baptized Catholic.
Okay, so I'm out.
Yeah. You're out by default.
Sorry.
You can have something called a witness, but you can't be, right? And so I want everybody to be there, but it was really hard. It's really hard to choose, kind of like choosing your wedding party. Yeah. Like it's really hard when you're like, oh, someone's going to get left out.
Yeah.
Someone that I don't want to choose, I'm probably going to choose.
And then someone that I'm not going to probably like in 5 years.
Yes.
And regret having them in my wedding, wishing that I had somebody that I like. Like, I wish I had you in my wedding.
Yeah. Right? It's just so, thank you.
Yeah.
But I think that's, I've talked to somebody, I think I talked to you that like this, if you had caught me at the moment of like River just being born, and I wanted to go through the motions of getting them baptized and being like, okay, this is just what we do, I think that I might have been a little bit less intentional on who we put in our kids' lives. But when River came out, literally my whole world changed, from how we receive care to like her, how we walk in her education, and now how we walk in our faith. And so I take it very seriously. And I think there are some people in the world that just kind of default to, it should be a family member, and it should be, a sibling or something. And my whole thing is, I want to choose people that are going to actually take that role seriously.
Very seriously.
Because I know my limitations on faith. I'm just getting back into it. I'm just feeling my own way and my own journey. And I don't want to just put someone who's just like, oh yeah, I'm a godparent. Like I want you to take that job seriously.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And not just like you want them to have a relationship with God. That's what I've struggled with.
Right. Because that's what they are, a godparent.
Right. I don't Justin. Easton doesn't have any godparents. And I'm like, I don't know who I would pick right now because I don't have family that is young enough. I'm talking like there's neighbors up the street that I'd probably pick in a heartbeat, but they're older. And I'm like, okay, I got to pick somebody that's young.
Right.
And that is on their walk with God, or like, really believes in this stuff that can walk Easton through if anything were to happen.
Right.
And it's really hard to pick those people because it's very rare nowadays. I feel like it's getting better. But
I think it's harder right now to talk to people, because like faith is it became such a political issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that people realize that Presbyterian, for example, is a very progressive church. Like I don't think it has anything to do, it's your walk with God and who you believe in and what you believe in. And how seriously you take the fact that you're not omnipotent, and there's something else, something greater than you. And it also should give you faith, right? That should give you this hope that like, wow, there's something greater out there. It's not all on me. It doesn't fall on me. But saying that, like, I'm not just saying, when we like, we obviously love you guys, but like, we started hanging out and River would say Aunt Coco, like that to me is like, it's easy, you're friends and you're trying to be, what's the word, like cordial about it. So you're like, oh, this is Aunt Coco or whatever,
Yeah.
Godparent to me is it's a literal, like we're creating a blood bond at this moment.
Right. Right. It's like extended family in a way. Yeah. Right. Totally.
And someone you're trusting your child with. That is, I think that if it was my own godparent or like, I remember when I got, what was the word? Wow. I can't think of it now. When I went through, no, not communion. Confirmation.
Okay.
Yeah. When I went through my confirmation, right? You're a young kid and you're trying to choose who's going to be on your side. And that's just your own.
Yeah.
I feel like that was even easier than me choosing someone for my child. That is a crazy thought for me.
Yeah. All right. Momo's joining us here. I have my dog.
Hi, Momo.
Momo, where are you going to go? We might lose audio connection.
Momo's like, I will be a godparent.
I will be. I read the Bible every morning.
I read the Bible.
Sit. Lay down. I'll pet you. Okay. So Momo has joined the conversation. But yeah, I think too, like morally, just everything that the Bible teaches us morally, it just makes you a good person. And that was something that I heard and just was like, okay, like at the very least, my son needs to know God and know the Bible to be a good person in life and be able to handle things that come his way in life. And that was a big thing for me. And now like, instead of asking for like a Blippi song, he's asking for like a Forrest Frank song or like a elevation worship song, and it's been really fun to see him. He just gets into it. He's
yeah,
like,
I love that. And then also we decided, so screen time is becoming this crazy conversation of having, and so we decided we were no longer doing YouTube. We're not going to introduce YouTube. We're not going to have any of that. So we have Minnow.
I was going to say, I can't get Minnow on my Samsung. Is that how you
really?
get it on your
The iPad? Yeah.
Oh, okay. The iPad. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to get it, but I have to do it through a Fire TV. We got to just like hook it up.
Oh, yeah. But she loves it. Like she has like different, she likes to watch VeggieTales. It is like, at the end of the day, when people are like, oh, you're, what you expose your child to, right? And some people can have an issue with like, maybe we're exposing her to faith too soon or whatever, but she's getting exposed to everything at this moment. And so if I can control it to a little bit of goodness,
yes,
it's not a fire and brimstone. My walk with faith is not a fire and brimstone God. Like I want her to know that just as I love her unconditionally, that there is something else out there that loves her unconditionally, but wants the best for her and wants her to do good.
Exactly.
And so I feel very safe with the choices that we're making right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we've been going through it the past couple months. Another thing I think in the light of kind of what's kind of transformed us is that like, we've been kind of doing you guys a disservice, I think, in a way. We're called Truth Moms, but I don't think we've really been giving our full truths. I mean, in a way. You look confused.
What do you mean? Our full truths?
like I think we've held back our personal opinions and just trying not to try to appease to everybody. And I feel like not to appease to everybody, but to more people. And I think moving forward, you can disagree with me because I thought we had this conversation, but like, I just want.
No, I don't disagree with you.
Oh, I just want, like how I'm saying, I'm like, would you disagree with me? I can stop. I think like when we first came in, we were like hot. I was like, I don't like vaccines. I don't like the cupcakes. And like, we were our true selves. And then I felt like we pulled back a little bit and we're like, okay, we want to make sure we're not offending people. We just want like, you know, pretty like not mild information, but not to lay our opinions or judgment on things. And I feel like,
well, I still feel that way. On my end, I feel like I still will walk through and not tell you full, because I don't think that people deserve full access to my choices, because I don't, knowing, you know, the backstory of this right now too, like where I'm going with is like the Tylenol thing that just came out.
Yeah.
You know, we had interviewed somebody. I thought that information was impactful, and you know, maybe I said it or worded it the wrong way, and it came back to bite me. And so, and that has nothing to do. And then I literally in my next post was like, just FYI, I have taken Tylenol.
Right,
you know, like
right.
an anti-Tylenol. And so I guess in my world, yes, I want to explore things and give my full opinion on it.
Yes.
But I don't think that everyone's going to get access to whether or not, like if we do talk about, you know, cupcakes, or we do talk about voting, or we do whatever, I still feel like you don't deserve that access. I will give you unadulterated questions.
Right.
And I feel like we should bring in people with starking opinions and right like that. But I don't think that I will always be like, yes, I'm pro this. Because the truth is, I don't know that I am 100% on anything. I think we talked about this before.
No.
I sit in the middle of a lot.
You're right.
And I'm willing to be wrong too. So I don't
Right.
know. I just see some of the stuff that's been coming out, like that even we watch and that we consume, that is just such a fear mongering tactic.
Agreed.
Right? Like don't use, I don't know, don't have green plants in your house because you'll pull out the oxygen and die, according to the study that happened.
Don't use paper towels because there's bleach.
Yeah.
Just
you
like,
know, like there's just, you can't get everything right.
Right.
But I do think that we should share our opinion in the moment and be
Yes.
and be not afraid. You're right.
Agreed. And that's where I was going with this, is that like, I think we could still share our opinion, but not have it shouldn't come off as judging you if it's a different opinion that you would have. I think people want to listen to us because they want to hear our opinions, and I think we've held back a little bit on that.
Right.
And I kind of want to go ahead and like really tell my opinion on things,
Right.
and not hold back as much. Like,
Right. I agree.
oh my gosh, people are
Because
going to
we're
lose
going to
listeners.
cancel. Because I think we've established this now, is that nobody's cancelable.
No.
Right? Good, bad, or indifferent. It's freedom of speech. And so we're going to say how we feel and the things, and we're going to, and honestly, we're going to get shit wrong. Like, that's the whole point, right? That is the whole point of this Tylenol debacle, is at the end of the day, you know, we are trusting our knowledge and our choices and our, you know, what we trust the knowledge that we have at the time with the time that we have it, and we make those decisions. And, you know, I think that was the big thing, is just coming out and outright the way that they said it. I didn't like it because it showed it was felt as if it was to shame a mother for her choices.
Exactly.
And that is not ever where I want to come from, because I feel like sometimes these podcasts can feel like that way, because they'll be like, well, if you ever did this, how could you do that? Like,
did you take Tylenol when you were pregnant with River? Because
No.
I did. I took Tylenol with Easton when I had these really bad headaches, and like it's like that could make me feel bad, right? Like
Right.
if he ended up having, you know, autism or something like that, and I could feel very blamed. So I understand what they're saying,
Right.
but like it just, sorry, I totally cut you off.
no, you're right.
But I think that getting that information out there, saying, hey, like, maybe let's not take it for a headache. Let's maybe save that for when we really have a really bad fever and we need to bring it down, because then it could hurt the child. Like, there's times to take, you know what I mean?
But see, I also agree, I'm pro-choice of everything. So I just, in my brain, if this mom says I have nothing else, I have Tylenol in my closet and I have not $1 to my name, like whatever the choice is, if that's her choice, that's her baby. And what I won't deal with is saying that there is an absolute either end, right? There's absolutely no risk and there's absolutely risk. And I think that's where I sit, is that the whole point of having choice is to know the risks and then to make the decision.
Exactly. The informed consent part.
Right.
Exactly. And that's what I was kind of trying to get at, was like, hey, like, maybe we shouldn't go right to it if we have a little headache. Like, maybe we should, you know, like, I just think that,
I see. I'm coming from the sense of just as a practitioner, not saying like, hey, this is what I'm prescribing these 3 things so you don't think otherwise. I'm not, if the person themselves says to me, like, I have a little headache, I'm going to take Tylenol. I'm not
going to judge anybody for doing it. I'm just saying they would just think about it. Hey, like, do I really need this Tylenol? Like that's all.
Yeah.
Like they're informed by the choices, knowing that it's maybe not as safe as we were led to believe in the past is all I'm saying.
Right. And then, you know, the argument to the other side of that, when people are like, well, Tylenol is 100% safe. And, you know, like, and then you go back to like a Tylenol 2013 post that was like, we actually don't recommend any of our products for pregnant women. But also the fact that, you know, people will say like, we still have people who are just blindly led into the government and saying like they wouldn't put something out on the market that would be harmful or whatever. They wouldn't, you know, and then you think of like, what about OxyContin? Okay.
Right.
Or what about the fact that Bill Clinton had a press conference for iron pills that they gave pregnant women that were laced with radiation. And it wasn't until 30 years afterwards that he actually did the press conference and apologized to those women for a very inhumane. And those women did have children with disabilities, and they came out either, you know, stillbirth or whatever. And for a very long time, those women were made to feel crazy because who would ever, well, why would an iron, like, maybe they didn't even associate it with the iron pill.
Yeah.
And now that we're backtracking. So the fact is that, you know, the government isn't 100% honest and transparent. You know, no agency really is, because we're all people, we're all human. I think that's the part of the faith journey that I'm on, is that like, we're all infallible. And even if it's for like the intent is different, that word intent this week, but even if the intent is not to harm, like we're still have to understand that like we're going to get it wrong, and science is ever changing. So maybe before it was the most safe and effective drug,
right,
and maybe not now, right? So I just gave River it's called Vira Kids for supplements for you know, immunity support, and I was tasting it, I was like, wow, this tastes like Flintstones, right? I don't even want to go look at the Flintstones vitamins right now, but we took that, right? And at the time, that was the best, most safe and effective supplement for kids our age,
right?
Now, and I can never turn back and tell my mom like, you poisoned me,
right?
You know,
no, like they were doing the best.
You're the reason I have
information that they had at that time, like,
right?
When we fortified our foods, and now like they're saying, okay, well, because we fortified all of our foods. And like with the MTHFR SNP, like that can affect like,
right,
or the folic acid and everything,
and
having folate, like just stuff like that.
And I think also like like sometimes I just like get the fuck off the internet too. Like that, this is just where I'm at a little bit, is that I'm not saying don't know or you should know better or whatever, but I am saying that sometimes, you know, we watch something on the internet or we watch other things and then we make a decision based on the one thing that we see. And I think that where I'm headed in life is that you just don't take anything for face value. You know, walk through the grocery store and take a look at the products on the shelf. And I remember when I went vegan for like almost 4 years. And I was in Miami, and the one thing that like the first like vegan person who walked me through how to be vegan was telling me was like, look at the ingredients. If you can't read it, don't eat it, because at that point it wasn't about health. It was just whether or not knowing it had animal products in it.
Right.
And so I've just taken that tidbit and I've applied it. Right. And everything that you do, you just take and apply. Just walk through the stores, just talk to people. You know, I think like it's great that the internet has so much information, but it's not infallible, and we're just being inundated constantly. I think we just need to take a breath of fresh air, touch some grass, and, you know, think about commonsensical changes in our lives that can be made better, and not use it to not even use it to shame others, just to make ourselves better.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything else you want to share with the public?
Should we go there?
We should.
All right. Do you want to start this one? I don't know if I can do it.
What? You don't know you can do what?
I don't know if I can like announce
that you have a baby in your belly.
I'm pregnant. I'm like, please announce for me. Make me feel
Courtney's
special.
pregnant.
So I'm pregnant, you guys, after we've been trying since December, and I know people try a lot longer after a miscarriage and a chemical pregnancy. I know people do a lot more too, but I am pregnant right now.
And you just had an ultrasound yesterday.
And I just had like a mini ultrasound.
So how many weeks are you?
I'm 10, so I'll be 11 on Saturday. Today's Thursday.
So you're like literally almost through the first trimester.
By the time that we put this episode up, I'll be like 13 or 14 weeks.
That's amazing.
So I feel safe at that point. Anything can still happen at any time, obviously. But,
right, but everything's looking good. A lot different than the journey
a lot different.
Yeah, especially the smells.
I want to get into that.
Yeah.
Y'all, okay, with Easton's pregnancy, it was pretty easy. Like, I felt like a little queasy when I woke up, and then I'd eat something, I'd be fine. And then, like, I got some tension headaches. I'd drink a little bit of caffeine, and it would, like, thin out my blood. I'd be fine. But this one, I have so many food aversions. Like, obviously coffee, that's, like, a very popular one. But, like, the thought of having a smoothie, I want to throw up. I actually dreamt that I had a smoothie in my dream.
And you threw up?
And woke up and threw up. That's how bad that's been.
Wow. Okay,
Like,
mine was the vitamin cabinet. I couldn't.
Oh,
I could.
well,
I would
yeah.
open it and I'd whoosh, and I was like immediately hot.
You're, like,
but
done.
smoothies, is it the smell or is it the
like,
texture?
even fruit. Like, once I can have, like, a strawberry, but, like, I love mangoes and pineapples so much, but the thought of having them right now makes me want
Wow.
no.
So okay, so that sounds like tropical fruits. It's
yes,
probably a
tropical.
no-no.
It's just like Easton got a smoothie right when I found out I was pregnant, and I looked at it and I was like, that just looks like the worst thing ever. And I love smoothies so much. So, like,
I wonder.
it's just not good. Chicken, honestly, you guys, like, my diet has gone to absolute shit.
Okay, well, that's the first trimester, though. I
Like,
think everybody needs to.
y'all.
I really hate these like, not hate. That's a strong word, but I do not like health and wellness influencers who also, like, everyone's pregnancy journey is different, and we have to admit and understand that every person's body is different. What is similar are that there are symptoms, and those symptoms can cause aversions, and those aversions are real. And you're really tired. You really don't want to eat, and so if you have to go on the cheese and cracker diet for, like,
It's not even cheese and crackers.
what are you doing? Water?
No, I mean, like, I can eat food.
I couldn't do warm water. It had to be cold, like ice. It had to have like 7 pounds of
I'm
ice
talking
in it.
like I need a Gatorade.
Oh, okay.
I need a Gatorade.
Get you some.
I
It's
need McDonald's. I told you that when I was like, I need a
So
McDonald's.
you have like the hangover.
Oh, I feel like I'm hungover.
Yeah.
So So, like, I'm like, get me a pizza. Like, chicken Caesar salads have been actually great. Otherwise, can't eat chicken. Like, I feel so bad for Justin because if he cooks in the house, I literally I'm done. Like, he has to cook out in the Blackstone, or
I will say I'm glad I didn't have that because
Uber Eats bill is bad. Like,
so oh my that was mine though, because here's the thing is, even if you don't have the aversion to cook, like the smells, just the sheer fact of, like, how tired you are, and then you have to add you have a toddler on top of it. So you're like, I could cook, or I could just sit my ass on the couch right now and just close my eyeballs for 10 seconds until the food gets here.
Exactly. And it's nice fried food. Like, I'm telling you guys, it is the worst diet. Like, everything that I've ever said in this podcast.
You look amazing though.
No,
I swear to God, your skin looks great.
Well, that's yes, but otherwise, I am bloated. I'm also on, like, a pretty high prescription of progesterone to help support the pregnancy. So I've been very bloated, inflamed, and everything.
And
like that.
Okay, so
I love it.
So let's talk about that for a second though, because that came up in the second pregnancy before the miscarriage, or during the miscarriage.
During the miscarriage. So I think I had mentioned in the last podcast, but if you guys didn't listen to that one, essentially, I went in for an ultrasound and they saw the heartbeat, but they couldn't get, like, a reading on it. They couldn't get, like, the Doppler on it. And I went in and got blood work, and then got another set of blood work, and my progesterone was going down and my HCG was going up. So that was okay. So I went onto progesterone back in March. And it just wasn't, I just didn't get it in time. Like, it was too late at that point.
Right. But it, like, outside of it, what you've learned is that your personal body is low on progesterone.
It always kind of has been. And honestly, I got labs done, I think, between July and August when I had, right after the chemical pregnancy, and my progesterone was actually better.
Oh, good.
And she said I really didn't need to necessarily go on it, but I could do it as, like, a layer of protection. And I was like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably contributing to some of the sickness.
Oh, sure, for sure.
Or it's a girl.
I think it's a girl.
A lot of people, even Houston, says it's a girl.
Yeah,
so.
see? River said that Lenny was a baby. I think we coaxed River into saying boy because she was saying girl. And there was a lot of, I look back on it now, all, like, the Moana came out.
Yeah.
Bluey has a little sister. All her favorite, they were all little sisters. And then she would say baby dinosaur. And Lenny literally, like, when she gets upset, she goes, she sounds like a dinosaur. So I was like, she was right.
Yeah. River's always right. She's intuitive. But yeah, so progesterone has been making me sick. I also am not allowed to work out until 12 weeks, so I've just felt really big and gross, and I'm eating like crap. But
Wait, you're
it's
not
making me
allowed to work
survive
out
it.
until 12 weeks?
No, she said I could do like yoga or Pilates, but like I don't feel like doing yoga or Pilates.
But you
right
don't want
now.
to stress your body out.
And I don't want to
basically.
stress my body out. So like I also found out from Max Jen that I have naturally high estrogen levels. Like I'm just susceptible to having those high estrogen levels, and they show up on my labs.
And high estrogen is low progesterone, right? So they kind of
Yes, and then also like if you spike your cortisol, usually that affects your estrogen. So just wanted to be really careful and intentional about that. My first pregnancy, I also was told not to work out for 12 weeks because I had just had that surgery. And then for the second pregnancy back in March, I did work out. And so,
and you were doing HIIT workouts.
And I was doing HIIT workouts. So I also think maybe that might have contributed. Maybe not. But like just for peace of mind, I was like, you know what? Like, we're going to get fat. Like, we're just going to get fat.
It's Christmas season.
Yeah, it's Christmas season. So it is what it is. Yeah.
That's all. So when's your due date?
Beginning of May. So like, I think it's like May 2nd. Like my app says May 2nd. The ultrasound says May 4th.
Yeah. See, I always got pregnant in May, which meant that my second to third trimester was in that Christmas stage, and it was always nice because I'd be like nice and cozy.
Yes.
You know? So I'm excited for you. It's great.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm just not gonna be pregnant like in the summer.
No. And then you're gonna walk out. It'll be May. It'll be nice and warm, but not too hot, and you'll be able to do those walks with the baby. It's gonna be great.
I'm really excited not to have a winter baby this time because I was about to have two. Not that I wouldn't love that, but like I want something a little different, you know, like just experience that.
Yeah, not two February babies like me, you know.
Well, I tried. What was so interesting about the March one is that we almost had the same exact timeline for both of the babies. Like River and Easton are 10 months apart, and Lenny and that baby were going to be exactly 10 months apart.
Yeah, I was just watching Marist, who's on one of our podcasts about stillbirth. She had said that there was, because she was getting pregnant around the same in her timeline, and it's just so funny how your mind works because you don't want to act like you're too attached because you don't want to like set yourself up, but like you're hopeful, you know, like how cool would it be? Like we've become best friends. We've been on this road together. It'd be great. But this baby's timeline is this baby's timeline.
Yeah.
And that's great too.
Yeah. With all the symptoms, I would say like that I've had, I'm so grateful for them. You know, like I'm like glad that I'm getting sick, and I'm glad that I feel like crap and whatnot, because it just means that like it's a stronger.
Is it a little bit comforting because like right, because then you're not worried, but like it gives you a sense of comfort that like the baby's still there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm like, oh, I'm ready to be done, but then I'm like, we wanted this, like so I wanted this, and I'm glad that I'm feeling something because it's just telling me that everything's probably.
I mean, in all things considered, your symptoms are pretty mild. So I would think, I would think when you hit that 15 week, it'll be.
I'm feeling better now. Yeah, honestly, like this week I kind of felt like a big lift. I did not feel well last night and this morning, but overall, like the days I'm actually able to get ready. Like I dropped Easton off in like the first couple of weeks when I was pregnant. Like I came in looking all cute, and then all of a sudden it was like, I'm coming in pajamas. I didn't brush my hair. I looked at the director. I'm like, I'm pregnant. Just let me go.
All right, mama, real quick before we keep going. If you've ever thought, why isn't this diet working for me? Or why do I always feel tired even when I'm doing everything right? It could come down to your genetics. That's why we love Max Gen Labs. Their at-home genetic tests help you understand how your body works, like how you process food, how you detox, what vitamins you actually need, and even your fitness tendencies. It takes all of the guesswork and helps you make choices that actually fit your body. And here's the best part. Just for being a Truth Moms listener, you get 10% off any test. Just head to maxgenlabs.com and use the code TruthMoms at checkout. Again, that's TruthMoms for 10% off, because knowing your body is the first step to feeling your best. All right, back to the show.
What's going on in your world?
Oh my God, what's not going on in my world? Well, I mean, I have like, this is crazy. So I just had some mom drama. We can talk about that in a second. But one of the things I told her, because I didn't realize, speaking of stress and all of that stuff, was that I tend to take on a lot of things all at once, because I I live in the chaos. It's where I feel comfortable. But it does require me at this moment in life I need to have focused chaos. Like I need to have it organized chaos. And it was just chaos for a second. So I felt like I was dropping balls and letting people down. But I mean, I essentially am running 4 businesses, right?
Yeah.
So we have the podcast and,
I was actually going to ask you about this if you wanted to announce this.
what? I'm not pregnant.
She's not pregnant, everybody, but she does have a
I was like, what?
Strawberry Road.
Strawberry Road. Yes. So I started a project with it's been an ongoing project, but working with a friend of mine who is at the forefront of the autism community. She has a son who has autism, and she started a nonprofit a couple years ago, and she really wanted to find a way to give back. And we were in a strawberry field with our 2 girls, and we were like talking about how YouTube is taking over life kind of stuff and wanting to have more positive impact. And she's this great songwriter, and I like being goofy. And I was like, we probably could just create a kids channel. And it's morphed into way more than that. So we've had to figure out and scale back, but really what it is, it will be a YouTube channel. Right now it is music, and on the socials it's out. But it is music and, entertainment catered around neurodiversity and inclusion. So, we want the lesson plans to reflect that there are children, especially because autism is 1 in 4, and it's on the rise. And again, when we go back to the Tylenol conversation, we can talk about cause all day. It doesn't matter. There are kids in the world that are living with autism right now. Yeah. And how can we support them and their parents and and learning what I have and being so I respect Kara so much and what she has done and gone through, and in all of the things that she has gone through, she's still she still has more in her tank to give back. And so, we created some music, and, we are we just did some things for the YouTube channel. So we've got Strawberry Road, we've got Truth Moms. I'm helping a friend rebuild a business for childcare, and then my actual job. So I'm like sitting, I'm sitting in the middle of a storm, which is great. I love it because for some reason I have felt like I've come out of a cloud, maybe from postpartum, because we're now 8 months out. And I'm starting to feel, not myself is the wrong word, but just things are able to be held again without just trembling.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing all that plus 2 kids. And so I just really don't have time anymore to deal with things that are just toxic soup in my life. And, unfortunately, like without going in too much, because I do want to respect my family's privacy, but, my family is toxic soup, and it's really crazy to have to like say that, but I feel like there's a friend of mine who's been posting about a pregnancy, and she just did her name's Lauren. I think she's an amazing human. She also went through some losses. This is her rainbow baby, third TTC.
Oh, I always forget that I'm having a rainbow baby.
Yeah, you're having a rainbow baby.
Keep going though.
But she had 3 losses until she got pregnant. Anyway, so one of the things that she does these bump dates each week, and one of the things that she said, she's like, I feel like I'm not being truthful. If you're gonna share, and this is what we talked about, if we're gonna share parts of ourselves and let people see it, we have to show the not good side too, because I think the problem with social media is that we show highlight reels and we don't necessarily always talk about the hard stuff. And I personally don't like talking about hard stuff because I don't want to seem like a victim, because I am a puzzle. I literally just told somebody at work, my talent, I've thought about this for a while now, is literally figuring out the puzzle pieces. I love having a problem and creating a solution. I love finding all of the issues and fixing it. Not fixing it because it shouldn't be a problem, but fixing it to make it better for other people. And so sometimes acknowledging the problem within myself feels like I'm talking about being broken, and I don't feel like a broken person. I just feel like I have broken things. And, I do give my family, albeit they don't believe this, but, I do give my family a lot of grace, because we come from a very, very poor family. And my mom and her sisters did have children at a very young age. And there's a lot that goes into being a young mom and a single mom at that. And so there's a lot of grace that goes with it. But, the more I've come out of walking out of this, like from like, even with my faith, there are just things that I would never put on my children that I feel like are put on me. And I don't think people talk about enough, especially if you have families that are kind of disjointed. Like my grandmother came from Thailand, so she speaks great English, but she taught herself, right? So there's limited understandings. And I think probably some of that, as they were growing up, it's easy to understand that if you aren't fully understanding the lesson, you don't get it, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that there is a lot of things missed in their upbringing that caused this. But my family, my aunt says this all the time. My family seems to believe in this concept of limited love. And so there's not enough love to go around. There's just this bucket of love. Mm-hmm. And, if I choose to be loyal to one family or another, it's not because I believe, and loyalty is such a fucking convoluted word. It really kills me, because loyalty to me is not that I will see you through and ride or die to the end, right? If you've done something wrong and you're an inhumane person, I'm not ride or dying.
Right.
Loyalty to me means that I will uphold and value our friendship, our relationship, our kinship to the most highest good, as long as you are also doing that, because loyalty is not a one-way street for me. I have been that girlfriend in my life that just like stays with someone regardless of their being good. And a lot of people have said that, like, people like to walk all over you, or you like to believe in the best in people. And I do. I now have learned my boundaries though with that, because it can't come at a cost to my mental health. And it was, the other day, like, without even knowing anything, I was meeting up with Courtney to grab some lavalier mics. And she comes out of the car and she's like, "Your face is blank.
No,
Are you
came
okay?"
In my car.
Yeah, I came to your car.
You literally looked like you had just gotten in a car accident. Like the way that you were just flush, and just like your eyes were just like wide open, and yeah, like, you look like shit.
No, I did.
No, you just looked like I'm like, "Are you okay?" Like the first thing I'm like, "Are you good?" Like,
but then it reminded me, because we're talking about some of the businesses. Like, Kara and I had a hard conversation about my focus too, and she was like, the day I came in here, so we had filmed, twice, because the first time we filmed, we look at it and I'm not gonna even blame the lighting. I was not there. Like, I was my whole mind, my focus, my stress. We had
both kids,
but not even the kid, but like my brain was not here.
Yeah.
Like, I was focused on what was going on at my home and all of the drama that was happening there.
Because I was fighting.
Yeah, that was the first time that I had blocked my mom.
Yeah. Okay.
That was that first moment.
Okay.
And I walked in here and I was like, all right, let's film. And so having to compartmentalize that part of my life has started to bleed in to my focus and being fully present with other people, because my mind, like, even now I'm like, my grandfather's in the hospital and there's just so much going around, and I've had to stay like at the end of the day, I only care about the actual things. Like, is he okay? Is he going to be all right? Is he coming out? What's the update on the health? Okay, great. I don't need to know anything else, because for whatever reason, this belief in limited love has caused our family to create stories about each other that aren't true, to justify their behavior.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of it too, because I grew up that way. So it's just easy. It feels easy to blame somebody else for what's happening. Like, oh, I treated you like this because I got upset because you did this, instead of being like, man, you know what? I might have misunderstood that, and I'm sorry. This is how I felt. Oh, you're sorry too? Great. Let's move on from this. There is this like idea that there has to be one person to blame and one person's at fault. And that person is never my mom.
Well, she said it.
And I'm saying it because we don't have to go into family dynamics. It's just our relationship in general. My mom and I, you and I have talked about this, and I'll just say it outright. Like, I don't know one person in the world whose mother reaches out to their friends to justify the behavior of their daughter.
Yeah.
Except for my mom.
Yeah.
And that is embarrassing.
It kind of threw me. That happened, I think, one time.
But it happens with all of my friends.
She's like, "Oh no," she's talking to you, and I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Limit that, because it's gonna get crazy."
Right.
Yeah. I've observed things, and I just want to say, first of all, like, you grew up that way, so it's very easy to default to that, and I think you're doing an amazing job to recognize it and like be conscious of like how maybe you're falling into those patterns, but you don't. You always stop yourself and you try and fix it, and you're not doing what they're doing. So I just want to give you, like, you're breaking that generational trauma. So that's a big thing. But yeah,
it's hard because like I like, I love my mom, and I, you know,
Yeah.
speaking of intent, like, she like gave me this, I can't really give you the context of it, but she just gave me this thing, like, the difference between murder and manslaughter is intent. And I was like, well, in both those cases, someone's dead. So just because you don't mean to hurt somebody doesn't mean you don't hurt somebody. And
Right.
also, this has been going on 36 years of my life.
Yeah.
And if someone's continually like PJ said this best, because he was like, oh, so that's like looking up in the sky and walking and continually stepping on someone's toes. I mean, like, I can't be possibly stepping on you. I didn't mean to. I can't see what I'm doing.
Right.
Right? Just because then stop moving.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Like, stop doing it.
Yeah.
If you're pinching me and I'm telling you that it hurts, you don't get to tell me that you didn't mean to pinch me so that it doesn't.
And then keep pitching me.
Right. But, and then also be like, well, that, I don't actually have to apologize for that, because that couldn't, you know, I didn't mean to do it. So like, my intent wasn't there. So therefore it couldn't have hurt you that much. And, you know, and so I sit with this because, you know, my bringing up River, I like, even sometimes I've, when I'm in that mode with them, or like I'm being sucked in back to this family drama, I get short with my children. Like it broke my heart the other day, because River was like, she was trying to talk to me, and I'm like going at it with a text message with my mom, and I was so like, even more than when I'm like at work, or like I'm working from home and I'm, you know, on the computer, she's like, she just knows when like something, because she could feel it, you know.
Yeah.
And she goes, that's okay, mommy, you're not paying attention to me anyway, I'll just go over here.
And you're just like, that is a lot.
Oh, it broke me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like, because you, like, not that it doesn't hurt my feelings anyway. When she yells, she's like, Mom, hey, you're like, what? You know, you don't, in those moments, like, you're reacting, so you don't see it.
Right.
But when you hear like a kid, like, just like, that's okay, mommy's not listening to me. Yeah. I just was like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know,
like, that's the last thing that I ever wanted to say.
And the irony is that I'm trying to get
your mom,
my mom to pay attention to me. You know, so like, I'm like, that's the little girl, and so it was just a fucking mirror moment, and I was like, oh man, like, like, the breaking the generational trauma doesn't mean like I don't fall into those traps. It's that I do better each time, and like, I love my mom. I will always love my mom. I will always seek her acceptance. It's just it's ingrained to me, and it's hard for me to let go.
That doesn't mean that you sit there and take all of her stuff. She has to know boundaries, and she can't talk to you certain ways, and she has to respect your boundaries and the way that what she expects out of you, or what she wants out of you.
Well, also, like, when we go back to loyalty, like, at the end of the day, your crosses are your crosses to bear, and I will walk with you. I will wipe your face, but I will not hold your cross.
Yeah. And,
you know, if someone, like, you know, like, it's all family drama, and you know, if I have a relationship with someone that you have an issue with, I don't necessarily, you're right, I should not, there are moments where I feel like I maybe pushed too far because I wanted everybody to come together, because in my mind it's like, it doesn't matter, like, not that their feelings don't matter, but like, at the bigger picture is that who wants to live life angry? Yeah. You know, it's so hard to be angry all the time. And it's not that I'm a pushover, or it's not that I forgive too easy. It's not that. It's that I don't want to give someone the power of affecting me. Mm-hmm. And I want that for someone else, because it's such a freeing, like, feeling. And when people can't get out of this cycle or this circle, it doesn't make any sense to me, because we're picking out and we're pointing things that happened, you know, years and years and years ago. And then I'm trying to make the point, be like, well, this happened to me years ago, and I'm not using that against you, you know? And then I'm like, well, wait a minute, I just used it, so technically I am. And I'm like, I can't reason, I can't pray hard enough. You know, in my walk with faith, something inside of me was just like, you got to let it go for now. Mm-hmm. You, like, it's not a punishment. It is that, like, for the sake of my life, you know, I had a hard talk with, like, you and Kara on separate things, of being like, I just want to know, like, you're in it. Like, just tell me you're in it. Yeah. You know, like, then Kara was like, you know, it's, at some points I feel like you were waiting for an out. And I'm like, whoa. Yeah. No, it's not that. It was that I was just so unfocused. Yeah. Because this was taking all of my emotional capacity. And then I was a parent, and then I had an actual job. So everything else that I was doing to bring joy into the world, which is like having this podcast, or like being creative with Kara, I couldn't I mean, dude, I got my haircut, and I was like, when's the last time I had my haircut? And he was like, oh, October last year. So it's been a whole year. I don't take care of myself.
No, you don't. And I try and get you to do that.
You're
and I'm
right.
like, let's go to the spa. Come on.
Yeah.
You do need to take care of yourself, and you need to set your boundaries and protect your peace at the end of the day. I feel bad that you and your mom have that relationship, and I can see so bad that you want it to be good and you want to believe that it's not going to happen. But I think something that you said to me was that she doesn't have somebody that she's having some kind of issue, like it doesn't feel right. Like she can't be good with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I can see that my family members have done that too. And it's kind of like they're just trained that way. And it's like, how do you untrain their brains and get your mom back?
So it's funny that you say that, because I actually, there's actually a TikTok or an Instagram, I think I sent it to you, of a neuroscientist that had said that, like you are programming your brain. Mm-hmm. Every time you get angry, you're programming your brain to feel safe in that environment. Yep. And so it just kind of reprograms, and being angry is actually not a release. It's actually a shrink of your hippocampus, because that's right. Your hippocampus is your ability to filter. And so if you are just feeling the safety net of being, I can be angry at who I want to be. I don't care like who it affects. Like I don't need to come down from it. You're wrong. I'm right. I'm not, you then cycle each time to do that. And so you're just constantly, you feel safe in being pissed off, and that actually is hurting your brain.
Yes.
So I was like, I don't want to do that. But that makes so much sense, because when you're praying, because that's the other side of my life is bringing back in faith. And the more I've gotten, like been on my Hallow app, or, and just doing like daily reflections and listening, or praying and having daily devotions, or just sitting in church for albeit the hour, like it has given me so much peace. And then it's almost like, when you're a kid and you're swimming all day and you're like in the hot sun and you have that one drink of water and you feel it almost go down all the way to your stomach, and that cold, and it feels so good. Like that's what it's felt to me. It's felt like this, like, okay, I'm going to take in some goodness, because I physically can't handle, I can't handle this load anymore. Yeah. And at the end of the day, what we're fighting about, that's even worse, is like, my grandparents and the mortality and the craziness that it creates when someone's at the end of their life, and then there's like all of these legalities, point of power of attorneys, or, executors of will, and who's going to get what, and who's interested in what, like these isms. I've had to get myself out, because I've done this before too, is that, I start to make story, like we do that as people. It's hard to believe things on face value of each other, because we're so wired to, like, I guess, conspirize. And so, and especially in my family, like we create stories about each other that may or may not actually exist. Mm-hmm. We take one little bit of truth and we just create this entire thing story. That at the end of the day, the thing that I learned that I feel like is parallel through my life with this, and what I'm trying to get my family to do, but they don't want to, is to sit down and fucking talk to each other. Yeah. That's like the disconnect. The disconnect when you and I are texting, we're like, all right, let me just pick up the phone and call. Yeah. Right? Hey, let's just go out for coffee. Hey, let's sit down on the podcast and talk it out. Yeah. Like Kara, the same thing. I'm like, I'm just going to call. Yeah. Let's just go meet up. Yeah. PJ and I were like, let's just get a babysitter and go take a walk. Yeah. We just need to be with each other for a second. And we need to, like, because if I believe we're friends, I don't want to, we're going to, if we have miscommunication, if we start to rely on other people to filter our relationship, it's going to get messy and it's going to get ugly, because they don't know the full extent of our relationship and our love for each other. Yeah. And so they're only looking out for you. Right. Right. And then they're going to poison the well. They're going to be like, oh, Brittany showed up late. Well, she actually doesn't care about you. But, and then these limiting beliefs start showing up. Right. And then we sit down together and you're like, no, Brittany did everything she could to get here on time, but things happen. She's got a busy life. She's got 4 businesses. Like, I know this. Right. But it's like, also we just communicate like, hey, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry for being late. That sucks. Like, I need to be better at that. I will work on that. I just don't, like, I don't understand when that gets missed.
Yeah. No,
You know?
I get it. It's all about communication.
100%.
It is.
And it's about
I think
human
you and
connection.
I are very big on communication, though. Like very good at it.
And not taking it personally.
Yes.
Like we lead with, and Kara and I did the same thing. We literally like held each other. We're like, we lead with love, right?
Yeah.
Like hearts first, head second. Like there is logic. People can be hurt. Things can go wrong. You can be at fault for something. But at the same time, I love you and I don't want to hurt you. Let's talk this out and let's be better.
Yep.
And move forward in the relationship instead of just being like, I'm done because you didn't bring me a drink today. I don't know. It's just wild.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit further with what's going on with Kayla? That was something that you said.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that's a good segue into
miscommunication
with business.
I mean that was 100% what happened. If I'm an outsider looking in without any idea of the two business partners and how it went down. So basically, one of my really best friends, she got a frantic phone call on the very end of the day of her childcare center that this church was pushing her out, and they were like, "Hey, you need to get your stuff within 24 hours and leave." And so I think if you follow me, I posted something about tenant laws, and really what it came down to was that they had been at this church in good faith. There's no contract for 3 years, and they were paying whatever that was monthly. And then there was like stuff within the business, like people were leaving the business and not communicating, and a whole month goes by, and then all of a sudden she just gets this random phone call like, you got to be out by Monday.
Basically because they were both too afraid to pick up the phone and just have the conversations.
And you know what,
hard to have.
Right. And because here's the thing is, and I love Kayla, because Kayla would, we would talk about like, what do I do? And I said, pick up the phone and call.
Yeah.
And I don't know the other side, because I personally, how I watched this person handle talking to her at the very end. I don't really respect this person now, but I will say it opened my eyeballs to my relationships, because I was like, I will never have this.
She literally immediately called me and she's like, can we just promise we will never? I'm like, no.
Yeah,
that's
even
not
if you're
how
the
I
angriest
operate.
at me, I never want to have a divorce like that. Like I never want to. And again, it comes down to power, right? One person was holding all the power of the relationship of where the place of business was happening, and the other person was holding all the power of like where it was holding, because somebody left abruptly and they were trying to pick up the pieces and they weren't really communicating, and like there was this back and forth of pride. It all comes down to pride and insecurities. I mean, same thing in my family relationship. It's pride.
Yeah.
And the number one sin in the world is pride.
Which is ironic.
You're too fucking proud.
Yeah.
You don't, everybody, and funny that I was listening to Hell Up and was like, you need to eat humble pie. It's okay to eat humble pie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's okay to sit down and say, you know what? I probably need to be knocked down a peg for a second to see the full picture.
Yeah.
But people just we don't take criticism well anymore. We don't take constructive criticism anymore. Like people can't just walk idly by and say, hey, I believe, we need to get better lighting. And you walk out of this room and you're like, she thinks this whole place sucks because it's like, no, I just think we need better lighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, we don't take things for what they are.
Yeah.
We create more stories in our head, and we let darkness come through and just run rampant. Like it is wild. The stories that you can create in your head out of a very little piece of truth, over just being like, okay, this is what it is, and I'm going to handle it. I'm going to anticipate if something goes wrong, but I'm not going to immediately think that this person is evil, right? So what I watched happen was this person quite literally believes to her core that a clerical error on part of Kayla, who was doing a lot in the business, but because she made this clerical error, it was an intentional way of putting them all at risk. And
instead of just saying, hey, we need to fix this.
Now,
very easy fix, by the way.
Very easy fix within 24 hours fix, right? Like, so, and again, I don't know the ins and outs of the whole relationship over the course of the years. I just know what I know. And so without, I don't want to speculate, but what I saw that day was two very hurt people that could not communicate even to the end. Like even one of the members, so the members started to help her unpack everything. as she was kind of navigating moving out, and they were going in and out of the church to like talk to each other. And she said, she's like, I had asked her if she would come out to you and talk to you and at least give you a hug, like goodbye, like this sucks, you know? And she was like, I'm not going to do that. Like couldn't even look, like went out the back door.
Like you said, eat some humble pie and at least just be human.
Well, what really kills me is that in that setting, they're two Christian women.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you are,
Forgiveness is a big thing.
And no one's saying that you have to forgive in the sense of like, let's start over and start this business over. You can be angry.
Yeah.
But how you treat each other.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Like we have forgotten how to treat each other. Yes.
And why they started.
And
the more important thing is the people that it's now affecting.
Right. And both of them on both sides are like, you don't care about, like, you're not thinking about the parents. Right. And neither, I mean, it's a divorce.
Yeah.
So you have these members who are feeling, you know, kind of in between it. And I remember, you know, Kayla and I prayed about it, and I was like, look, at the end of the day, you have to move forward. Yeah. And so let's not, like, if the members bring up any conversation with this person, like, just be like, no, you know, like I appreciate you. I'm going to pray about it. I don't want to speculate. You know, thank you, but no, thank you. Like, just don't let the devil seep in, because rumors is what got us out of the Garden of Eden. Mm-hmm. You know, hey, if you take this, you'll be like the best. Yeah. You know? And so I have really sat with that in my brain, and I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I have been guilty of it, you know, talking about my friends when I'm angry, or like talking about my family when I'm angry, or, you know, calling somebody about my relationship with, you know, PJ. And like, I remember one of my good friends had said, well, like when they got married, they're like, the one thing I learned was, obviously, unless there is physical violence or like infidelity and stuff, you keep your relationship together. Yeah. Right. Like if you're mad that he didn't pour the coffee out in the morning and you had cold coffee, like talk to him about it. Don't call your girlfriend a bitch.
Right.
You know,
then those things start to add up, and then they're like, they start to hate him, and you're like, no, he's actually a great person. Right. He just kind of ticks me off sometimes. Right. And then they will then get in your brain, like you were saying earlier, and start a narrative. Right. And then
that's how it happens.
Yeah.
I think speaking of Veggie Tales, I think the it's called Rumor Weed is the
I've
show.
Never watched Veggie Tales. Oh, it was not a thing when I was little.
Oh, I love Veggie Tales. Probably because of VBS, like Vacation Bible School.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's called Rumor Weed. It's basically an episode of where a rumor takes over a whole town and is like crushing this town. Yeah. Right. And that's the truth is at one tiny little rumor or one tiny little misunderstanding that is not met head on and cut the head of the snake. It grows into something much bigger, and misunderstandings lead to hatred. And I totally believe that, from a spiritual, from a political, from a friend, from a family, from a lover level, that it has destroyed so many relationships by just not talking to each other directly and really hearing each other. Yeah. Because again, I agree, there is an intention. Sometimes people don't intendally hurt, but you did hurt me, and we have to talk about it.
Yeah. So I think we covered everything, which never happens.
Wow, we did it.
Bullet pointed some
now
stuff.
Now I have to see if my camera stayed on.
Oh yeah. Ooh, this might just be audio only. I do want, before we close out this episode, I want to talk about my hat. Oh, do you know what this hat is?
No, I do not.
You don't know what this hat is?
No.
Well, it's on your card. Just kidding. Well, it is, but this
is
yes,
CODY'S. Good comeback.
So
okay.
we've been meaning to and not announce this, but just to, you know, give them a shout out, give them some recognition, or just help out in any way. Stacia Scott, back in June, we were supposed to record. Yeah. I'm not going to get into why we didn't record.
There are so many different things why that recording didn't work out.
Yes, yeah. It was kind of crazy. It was kind of yes, and unfortunately, we were not able to record that day. They had come all the way down to Indiana, but I think it was not even a week later she found out that her son has stage M high risk neuroblastoma, which is a very rare and aggressive pediatric cancer. I just want to give them some recognition, or just let you guys know, like, if you want to donate, they have a GoFundMe, and you can also purchase these hats.
Can we talk about Stacia for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Like, the reason why we love her so much, and that we want, you know, honestly, if anybody's going through a hardship, we would love to be able to share and hopefully get you the help and funding that you need, whatever, right? Like, we believe in all good causes, but Stacia especially is like, we met this woman, and she was so kind.
Oh my gosh.
I've never met a kinder woman in
I
my
know.
whole life.
I know.
You know, and that this is the you never know what someone's going through, right? Like she had no idea that in 3, like we were just talking about because you had just gone through your miscarriage.
I just gone through it,
and
you
you
guys
guys
had
were
just gone through hers as well.
Yep, and she was going through hers, and then her friend was talking about her recent one,
Yeah.
and so you guys were all really kind of bonding over like how delicate and fragile that situation is, and how, you know, also she runs Postpartum Care USA, which it was meant to bless and help women in their journey to understand at the blood level, right? Because sometimes you get your blood work done and you're only doing this, you know, there's only so many boxes it checks, and she really took to postpartum women and wanting to help women in their postpartum journey to feel better, to, you know, combat postpartum depression, to make you feel like your best self and support you, which is really where I think my second pregnancy took me, was understanding that it is so much about care of the mother that like directly affects care of the child, right? And so this woman starts this program. She has the most noble cause of helping women in their most vulnerable stages of life, and she's the kindest human. We got there was like an issue with filming, and they had driven, and she was like, that's okay, we made it a girls trip, and like
just so positive about it.
So
and we
positive.
Were so embarrassed that this had happened. She was just so positive. We were gonna go up there and film.
I remember, she's also like a, you know, like sometimes you have these checkpoints in life. The way I was so angry, and she was like, it's okay, we'll figure it out.
So nice about it.
She brought my perspective of like, it's okay, it's all right, it's okay, what can we do? You know, we have done all we can, we got here, this happened, what is going to be angry about it gonna do? Nothing. Let's just enjoy each other, let's find another way, and so she was such a blessing, of her faith and her
energy.
It was just so good. And so to know that she's going through this is like probably the most heartbreaking of it all. Not just like her son being, you know, as a child, like I can't imagine, but as a mother watching your child be so.
He's 3 years old. He just turned 3. Like,
I can't.
Yeah.
So our hearts are with Stacia, and I'm sorry, I didn't realize I have to go ahead and get a hat. I was like, wait a minute. And then I saw Cody on the side.
Yeah, sorry, it's on the side. It says,
I didn't know you got a hat.
Cody, I think I sent it to you, but you were going through some stuff.
Yeah.
That we just talked about. Yes. Cody has come back. They're $40 plus shipping. Yeah. 100% of the proceeds go to the Scott family. So,
yeah. And knowing Stacia, wherever this takes us, it's going to lead her into something else too, to like probably assist mothers with children who are going through, like this woman will take any hardship and turn it into a purpose. And we're just with you, Stacia.
Yeah.
So
I will say it seems like he's responding very well from what I've seen. So that's great, but we want to keep it going and just, you know, help fund them as much as we can. I feel like I could talk to you forever.
Same.
You're like, not you.
No.
I know. I'm like, this is so fun. I love having our own studio.
Yeah, because now we have to like, we're not worrying about time. We don't have to. We're not paying for no time.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're paying. We
don't have to worry about the producer not showing up to film. That's what happened, by the way. I don't care. They're not going to watch this. No, I mean, we love our studios. But yes, that is what happened. But it's nice. Yeah. We're our own producers now.
Yeah. Season 4, we have our own kinks to work out.
Yeah.
Like we've got our own studio, our own things. We can like make it as creative. Like she's like, I got new plans. Like we get excited. Like we can make this space our own. Yes. And that's the coolest part about it.
It's fun, and we can transform. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, season 4.
Let's just hope that this camera is still recording.
You know what? If it doesn't, we still have audio.
Yeah.
And I don't sound like a robot.
Mine sounds a little weird, but.
I
think we got it though. All right, guys.
Check back in later.
Did I just do?
Thanks for tuning in to Truth Moms. Remember, mamas, the truth starts at home.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It really helps us reach more moms like you, and plus, it's free.
Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and we will keep dropping those truth bombs. Bye.